say they like coast to coast, but on demand, raw and uncut interviews, and all without no ads. One says false and one says true, and the reach of synchros too. Grimerica is here for you. Stories from the listeners, they sent to Graham. He'll read them and be amazed, but Darren may say no. One says red and one says blue, but if it's balls it just won't do. Grimerica is here for you.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Grimerica Show. This is a little bonus episode. We're going to be talking to a couple of knights from the No Agenda Show. We got Adam Loyal joining us for the intro, friend of the show, and for the first time, Michael's joining us, another friend of the show, a friend of mine. Yeah. And of course, as always, Graham Dunlop. That's it.
Just to be clear, I think one night we have got Andrew Lemessony on.
Actually, wait, no, it's going to be Graham Four Eyes Dunlop.
And Nick the Rat is actually just one of the leading contributing artists to the No Agenda Show, which is kind of appropriate because tonight the election's going on and we're releasing the episode with the No Agenda guys.
And you have your new spectacles.
I have my new glasses with blue blocking lenses. I finally had to get glasses for the first time in my life, being in my mid-40s. It's pretty disappointing.
They fit you well.
And I bought they've only been out for like 6 months or a year, the blue blocking lenses. You can't tell really, can you?
I could tell.
They're not yellow.
I could tell. Whenever you look at your computer, your face turns blue. I could see the blue light that it's sucking out of your screen reflecting into my eyes.
Really?
Yeah. So there's actually like weaponized.
There you go.
Now you're affecting my health when you come in the studio.
Now you won't be able to sleep at night.
That's right. Disgusting.
You'll be getting extra blue. So how you doing, Adam? We got Adam here too.
If I'm lucky.
Doing pretty good.
And did you introduce Mike as well?
Briefly. But
Mike, yeah. I bumped into Mike at the Paul Hellier.
That's a little synchro, yeah. You guys got a little synchro.
Yeah.
Should I play a jingle?
Nah. Save him.
Graham is an all-in believer in chemtrails.
Come on, you have to play that one.
I'm just trying to set up the board.
So it's pretty scary there. Hey, Adam, it's, we start out tonight and the election's live and it looks like Trump's winning and now I don't know what's going to happen. And you're saying it's a step backwards either way, eh?
Well, yeah, that's the way I look at it. No matter who was going to win tonight was a step backwards. I'm of the opinion that Hillary was probably 2 steps backwards. But that's just, Jesus, I've been reading so many of the WikiLeaks emails that I can't help but have my mind flavored in that direction.
Isn't it? You could also look at it that it's actually a step forwards no matter what happens because all of this, it seems like just the fucking lies in the media and the corruption is just fully exposed. It's like everything is just bared to the world this time.
That's just it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think there's a chance that, Michael would probably disagree with me. He's the ultimate dystopian. But I would argue that, maybe now this is a sign moving forward that these administrations need to be less secretive. Or, do people go forward now going back to, okay, we better watch it because people are watching. Even if you've got the press in your pocket, you can still get fucking taken down.
Yeah, and even if Trump loses tonight at the end, even if it's a comeback win for Hillary, that's still true, right? It was that close, it was that scary for them that it was. They have to be careful now, and I don't think it's going to go away. That all that fucking corruption and the legalities that are going to happen here with.
There's a lot of social ramifications too. If you look at just what all the media was projecting here a few days ago, which was that there was going to be a landslide Hillary victory. Okay, well, clearly that didn't happen, so that is not what was really happening. All the polls were bullshit, just like, the No Agenda thesis. So yeah, we're walking into this new world where the media has been completely exposed. And, oh, man.
I was just talking about that. What's their next step? How do they correct the record? They don't have a choice, right? Can they just keep fucking around?
Alternative media becomes king? I don't know.
I would argue that if Trump hangs on, that we've already taken a big step forward. I would say that alternative media helped sway an election.
Absolutely.
And I'm not taking any credit for that whatsoever, but I'm just saying in general, you look at whether it's Drudge or places like
Stefan Molyneux
or Alex Jones
No
Agenda, Joe Rogan.
Well, it's become so clear that the news is just obfuscating the truth. And you know, obviously the WikiLeaks really unearthed that. It wasn't just seeing seeing the bias. You could actually see the mechanics behind the bias. So, I mean, yeah, it's people were forced out of using the normal mainstream and going towards the alternative. In such a powerful election as this, I mean, it's going to be hard for people to put the kibosh on that and go in reverse.
Yeah, what were you thinking, Mike, when Darren was describing you as the ultimate dystopian?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that all means, but I recently read 1984 again, so maybe that's part of it. I'm kind of seeing the world in 1984 because I recently read it again. So
perhaps that was a little unfair.
No, but what do you think? Because you do have a different view over Darren.
Darker.
I mean, you have a darker view of that. This is controlled anyways, right? Whether it's like,
and I'm not ruling that out. I mean, there's definitely something to that.
Darren says that he called Trump a year ago. And a year ago, I called Trump as controlled opposition for Hillary. And if he got in there, there was no Republican choice. There was the Democrat and the new Democrat.
I could definitely see Trump as being some sort of controlled opposition because, I mean, it worked out. Obviously, they used to be friends and yada, yada, yada. But what do you think happened then? Do you think it's just her corruption was too much and whoever's pulling the strings was just like, okay, we just can't have her in there. She's just a recipe for disaster?
I think WikiLeaks is amazing, but it's just a taste. I think there's a lot that's being held. I think there's a lot that's being held back. WikiLeaks has just provided a taste.
Do you think WikiLeaks is legit?
Who knows? It's hard to say.
It's hard to say, right? When you really think about it, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Well, even after that Steve Pesniak video that says the intelligence community, you know, is a counter coup.
But I mean,
WikiLeaks.
it could all be bullshit. But I still think it was. I still think that the election was. If it hangs on and Trump pulls it out like it looks like he's going to, I think it was from all the people that are sitting at home that never vote. And fucking finally they got someone that they felt, for the first time maybe in a while, they felt like they had a candidate that might be in their corner. He's not a career politician.
Yeah.
You know, he comes out with his pussy tape and shit like that. And you know what? Like, people expected that to hurt his numbers. But even when it came out, I said, you know what? I could see how that might make people relate to him a little more. Hey, that's how I talk with my buddies when we're at the bar or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't. But you know what? I could see how people could relate to that.
Well,
we all have.
Easy to say. It wasn't very much at all.
No.
Really.
We've all had deplorable moments.
But I mean, couple that with the fact that he's saying what people who have been out of work or who are now working in some shitty service job or doing something they hate that used to make good money, whether it's building cars or doing this or doing that. He's at least talking about making taxes and making new trade deals that will make it, you know, just as profitable to have your workers based in the U.S. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's when America was at its greatest, when everybody had a good job and, you know, nobody was living fucking paycheck to paycheck like everybody is now.
Well, what really points it out in Florida is we had, 30% of the vote that was cast in Florida was cast before the election, and that total was more than everybody total that had voted in the previous presidential election.
That's crazy.
And it's still 1 in 5, I think, isn't it? Because when I'm looking right now, it looks like, if I look at Florida, it looks like about, you know, somewhere between 9 and 10 million people voted. How many people live in Florida? Like 60 million?
No,
Yeah,
no, not even close.
I'd say
Florida's
30.
weird too because we have snowbirds that come back and forth.
What was
We're a
that?
lot of seasonal
Mike,
travelers.
20 years?
I don't know, 30.
20, 30, yeah.
So yeah, we got a shit
I
ton
have
of new
20.
voters out there.
Yeah.
So it's half. Why did I think? Maybe that's UK I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
65 million, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not one?
So what else do you see out there, Adam?
Well, I mean, we had a couple of important things that passed in Florida. We had Amendment 1 that was up there, which was in a nutshell pushed by the big power companies, and it would have prevented small people from being able to sell their own power back and maybe create their own little industries of being able to sell power. So that was a good thing to get knocked down. And then obviously we got medical marijuana. And then, you know, there's a couple of other things that I would say are personal to me. One in Palm Beach County, we voted a 1% increase on sales tax for education. But, you know, that's bullshit. They squandered the last 1% sales tax that we gave them, and we took it away. So I assume the same thing will happen in the future.
Huh. Congratulations. So this morning you texted me you're a little excited finally. Was that the first time you've been excited in a while to go vote?
You know, it was very nerve-wracking experience just because the stakes are so high during this election. So, yeah, it was the first time going to vote that there was a heightened sense in the air that was palpable.
Huh. Well, you heard it here first. No, you probably didn't hear it here first, but it's probably one of the first places.
Hey, Adam, what do you know about Votecaster, if I can say that?
Is that the app that people are swapping votes with?
I don't know.
No.
It's off a slate. I kind of watched that today, and I noticed how Hillary was just barely ahead all day long.
On every state?
All day long, yeah. And you could click on each one of the states, and it's supposedly, I think, I didn't read all of it, you know who does, but the Votecaster says that it's, they're polling people as they're coming out and just trying to see if they're Democrat or Republican, I think is all they were doing. And Hillary was Votecaster, I don't know. That's the question. Do you know about it? Did you watch it?
Yeah, no, I'm not familiar with that, but I do know that the polls are generally skewed to make them as even as possible all the way up till the last second.
Yeah.
And that's for advertising at the very least.
Totally.
So, yeah, it completely makes sense that you would have that, especially when you're looking at how the actual votes have come in. Mm-hmm. It's been slight heads ahead in all the key states, and it's winning by small numbers. I think Florida is going to show as a win of by 100,000 votes, something like that, which is a ridiculously slim line.
Mm-hmm.
So why aren't they showing all the other parties on here? I'm being serious.
Jill,
because if they're talking about 3% for these, like.
Well, if you click
Jill
on the states, it says Gary Johnson got 2.3%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that are having complete meltdowns on Facebook because the combined total between Stein and Johnson is 2.9%. And if those people hadn't thrown away their vote and done a protest vote, then Hillary would be president.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I hope
crazy.
nothing bad comes to them.
Something might.
I sure hope not.
I wonder if it'll be that bad. Who knows?
See, what's going on with that? I mean, like, this isn't even a left or right thing. Like, it's really beyond that. It's complete corruption at the top level, and it's fully exposed for the world to see. Why can't like, are they really just ignoring all that? Like, how can so many, and I'm not saying like I'm, right or left or whatever, but I mean, isn't it pretty obvious by now what's going on down there that they're not even just closing their eyes to all that stuff?
I think the internet, man, if you look at what WikiLeaks just exposed with everything, it is so damning and so in your face and incontrovertible that it's really hard to avoid. I mean, it used to be if you had the media in your pocket, you could control what they report. Now they have the media in their pocket, they controlled what they reported, but WikiLeaks kept putting stuff out. So why are so many people still so upset about, or why are so many people still for
Hillary with all the corruption and with all the exposed,
Well, it's one of the. I think it's social. It's my team versus your team. It's this idea that all these people in Hollywood are so incredibly pro Hillary, putting out. You probably saw that video of all these celebrities going pro Hillary. I don't know. It's a weird mentality. Like, I can't get it because I have friends that were on Facebook that were sharing things that were completely blatantly untrue, saying, you don't even know that Hillary's not writing these emails. She's not saying this. And I'm like, oh my God, because I'm reading these emails that she is sending. I'm reading the emails that are being sent by the president to see all these legal. You're not even paying attention. So it's a weird disconnect where people don't even want to access the information that's right there and available.
Yeah.
I don't know. But at the same time, look, within all that, Donald Trump is going to be president.
I don't know. I don't think so, man. How do you, I don't see it happening.
This Hillary machine was like the best thought out, best prepared, best funded of anything ever in history.
That's why it broke.
It owned all the
We
media.
the people. Donald Trump's like the little dude in front of the tank.
So what are you saying, Mike, that there's still Hillary's going to win then still?
Don't say that, Darren. That did not bode well for that little dude.
No,
I don't understand with that much weight and push behind it.
Did they just run him over?
With that much weight and push, like how could?
Yes,
I don't know. How could it happen?
That's the amazing
And does
thing.
government ever let things like that crazy happen?
I don't know.
Maybe Obama just has to start a
It
war.
could be. Maybe it is out of their control. Maybe it is just like they underestimate the power of the new media, and how everybody can just see through all the lies. Except for California, of course. But
well, the good thing is what this tells me that the system that we have actually is functioning. In other words, the votes aren't completely bought off, because otherwise I would assume with the amount of money and the groups of people that are backing Hillary and the amount of corruption that we've seen. Yeah. So even within all that, you can still have a victory like this, which means that the entire system isn't completely corrupt. And that's really happy to me, because with the amount of voting machines that are being used, I have been perpetually terrified that there could be a landslide election in the wrong direction. And I don't mean wrong socially. I mean wrong as in, purposely miscounted.
yeah.
So I get my voting booklet from Alaska, which is the last place I voted. And they send you a booklet every time, and it tells you all the people that are in there and all about them and everything.
Oh, really?
Donald Trump wasn't in the book. Like, it went with one guy that I'd never even heard of. I should have brought it tonight. Anyway, one guy I hadn't heard of. I'll try to remember his name. And Hillary, and then Jill Stein, but no Johnson, and no Trump.
I'm curious to see if Hillary will.
And it's the official voting book, like that tells you all about the people so that you can vote. So you can be knowledgeable what they want you to know.
It was a misprint.
Nope. It was an asterisk. It was an asterisk, and it said that Trump and Johnson didn't get their shit together and get their information to them before it went to print.
Ah.
Really?
I call bullshit.
Really?
I call bullshit. Holy shit.
Now, how did you... Oh, so you voted by absentee ballot then, I guess?
I don't think he voted.
No. I can't support that system.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I was in the States, I might have just done the same thing, voted for Jill or Johnson.
You would.
Or not. Are you allowed to, what happens if you just wreck your vote, as a protest?
Just don't go. Then you don't go
You
just
just
to
don't
wreck
go.
your vote. What do you just go down there and just
scratch your
spit on the
backs out?
screen? It's a touch screen, I think, most places.
Well, no, there's a lot of... what I had is they have a card. It's really confusing. They have arrows, and you have to draw a line with a pen in between the arrows. and then you take that and you put it into a machine, and then you don't get a count of actually what your votes were. All it does is click up a number and say that your page was counted.
Wow.
So that's how we use, but in the past we've had different ones. I know there's a couple of there's touch screens that get used as well.
Oh, I don't know. Karmically, I feel better when I don't vote. So, for the big one, for the president one,
Just vote on the local level.
Local level is very important.
I voted on the local level too.
Yeah.
So.
And things like that. Very important. Support your local school if it's a good school.
So do we want to keep talking about politics then, or we're going to lose a whole by the time? Like we're going to lose all our California listeners are gone, even though we didn't really say anything.
Let's switch gears. How about
what is that?
Wrong one. How about
Darren and Graham going deep. It's a profound UFO.
Give me another Podesta.
I got a good one here for you. I got a good one. Adam will like this too because Adam's been forwarding me these all the time. He's like, sorry for getting sick of me forwarding you these Podesta emails, but it's a good source for the UFO quote of the week. But that's a whole other paradigm with this. I mean, I just saw a show on breaking open the Podesta thing from what's her name again?
Abby Martin,
and it was mind-blowing about Podesta and the whole organization and all that. But why, are the two that are getting exposed for the most corruption, like Hillary and Podesta, pretty much, are the two that the UFO community has in hopes of disclosure, right? Like, is it that?
Because they probably just fucking use the UFO card to get some money out of people sometimes.
No, it's not. It's way deeper than that, man. It's way deeper. This is like squashing the whole chance. You think they're throwing the shit
because those guys were going to spill the beans on fucking aliens?
No. It even goes deeper than that. It's pretending that the disclosure is going to happen from those two, and then it completely gets squashed, and nobody else will bring it up after that. What do you think, Adam?
Well, I think in light of finding out that Podesta is likely a Satanist, that he probably thinks that UFOs are angels and demons. So
yeah. So this is an email from N. Merrill at hrcoffice.com, which is Hillary Rodham Clinton office.com, to John Podesta. And it's CCing Jennifer Palmier. And its subject is Mother Jones and UFOs. She says, "You can't make this stuff up. John, would you like me to politely decline or say that our non-campaign has a strict policy of not commenting on extraterrestrial activity?" And then the email that she forwarded says, "Hi, Nick. Sorry for a second email, but I'm hoping to connect with someone about this story I'm working today. My story is about Podesta's UFO tweet from February and how UFO folks seem optimistic that a Hillary White House would mean a better chance at an actual U.S. government UFO disclosure. It's a fun and lighthearted piece, and I would really, really appreciate a comment. I'm not trying to annoy you guys with this, but hopefully we can connect. Best, AJ." And he's AJ Vissens, a reporter from Mother Jones. So obviously they're not taking it seriously, right? The original email is getting forwarded to John saying, "You can't make this stuff up."
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was from the investigating I've done into the UFOs and the Podesta emails. He's mostly dealing with people that have tracked him down somehow.
Yeah,
because his email was publicly available someplace.
Well, what's happening is everything that I've seen is getting forwarded to Aaron Sepp, which is Chelsea Clinton, and she is then forwarding it to John Podesta because he has an interest in UFOs. But his interest obviously isn't that interesting because when people like Edgar Mitchell are talking to him, he's not getting into these real engaging back and forth. It's okay, well, we'll try to set up a dinner.
Exactly. I got one from Edgar if you want me to read it. Darren, you want me to read another one here for you?
From who?
From Edgar Mitchell to him?
Yeah, shoot.
See if I got it here. Oh, no, now it's going to happen again.
I bought you some time. Nothing.
Performance issues?
So it says here, this is from Terra Billionaires at AOL. To John Podesta. So this is an email for John Podesta, care of Aaron, Air Force Disclosure. Dear John, you will note the extreme timing of our request to meet with you and the recent announcement that the U.S. Air Force just released secret files of UFO reports cited in the Blue Book Project. And then it provides a link. I grew up in Roswell and my family knew Oppenheimer. Let's get our meeting time and date set up ASAP so we can move forward on our unprecedented discussion concerning disclosure of our ETI from a contiguous universe and their connection to zero-point energy for humanity. Best regards, Edgar Mitchell. SCD, Chief Science Officer and Founder, Quantrek, Apollo 14 astronaut, sixth man to walk on the moon.
One of what, 12 people? No.
Something like that.
How many people walked on the moon? 10 or 12, I believe.
Yeah.
There you go. Free energy. Free the people.
Yeah.
Anything free is good, right?
Yeah. Nope.
Not free crack.
No, probably not crack. You're right.
Unless you're in a strip club.
Easter. Oh.
I don't have that one.
Yeah, free energy, replicators, no money.
So
Keep repeating that to yourself.
Speaking of angels and demons, so how did your people in Florida take that news about the spirit cooking?
I actually haven't heard anybody really talking about it. So, you know, it's from my, and this is something that's kind of interesting if you look politically. My social view has been mostly Hillary supporters. And within the last like 12 to 6, I don't know, probably 12 hours, that has steadily started to die down to when I go on social media, it's almost zilch. It's all just now grousing.
That's weird, eh? You know, I was watching Alex Jones for a bit. I never watched InfoWars, but I started watching it just for a bit.
He was just babies and cows for 25 years.
He was just saying over the last 5 days, it's been completely dead silent from the mainstream newspapers, who usually write like 300 articles bashing him per day, and they were dead silent over the last 5 days.
Well, Darren texted me with something that's I think is important too, that the Hillary campaign canceled their fireworks celebration earlier today.
Mm-hmm. Last night they canceled.
Or last night.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand the significance of that though.
Because she was so sure she was going to win, and I think fucking whatever polling that we
what
have,
does that have to do with
whatever polling that we have that shows what we think or blah blah blah, is for whatever reason. That's bullshit. But something tells me that Donald Trump and the Republican heads and the Hillary Clinton and the heads of the Democratic Committee, these people that elections are their thing, have a pretty good way of fucking judging numbers. So I think Trump had a really good idea, and that's why he chose which states he went to very carefully. And I think Hillary had a pretty good idea. And I think last night or at some point in the last couple of days, it came to a culmination that she's like, you know what, we're probably not going to win. So we probably shouldn't have a fucking $50,000 worth of fireworks on a boat.
No, it's not a fucking monetary thing. They spent $3 million on Chelsea's wedding.
You still look like a fucking idiot if you have to bolt your fireworks back in. You were that cocky that you got your fireworks out there.
What?
But they used foundation money for that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
is that
you didn't
a joke?
say that in the emails? No, that's not a joke.
He's talking about Chelsea's wedding, but aren't you, Adam?
Yeah, Chelsea's wedding was paid.
I thought you were talking about the fireworks.
No, but you wouldn't. They wouldn't be concerned over spending $50,000 on fireworks if she lost.
No, but it's just I think she knew she wasn't going to win.
No. She needed the deposit back. She didn't want to lose the deposit.
She was coming up on the 24 hours. Yeah.
It probably wasn't her. What it probably was is somebody in the background reeling in and pulled a couple of strings to save money and didn't realize that would be something that would be publicly visible. Because otherwise, that's a string that you'd leave attached, I would think.
I still don't get it.
I looked at it as
why would you even do that? Why wouldn't you just leave it? Yeah. Like just absorb that loss.
Well,
are they going to stop making all the hats?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I think it was a mistake. They didn't think they'd get caught. Like people don't realize what age we live in. That it's like, oh, you canceled the fireworks. Oh, well, now someone leaked that you canceled the fireworks.
If you're going to win presidency in the first woman president, you don't think there's going to be fireworks? It's just a good question.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I think she had someone had already knew that there was zero to fucking.
She still could win, Darren. This is.
You're not reading it properly.
I'm not reading what?
You don't get it. You don't get it.
Are you thinking he's like? What about you, Mike?
I don't know. This whole media.
Darren's the numbers guy.
This whole media
That's
thing
true.
can't end.
I ain't arguing numbers with him.
Like, he technically hasn't won these ones yet, but they're like almost 100% in. It would take like almost the rest of the votes coming in these places. Every other vote that has to come in would have to be Democrat. It would be insanely unprecedented. And what he is about to win here is going to be pretty significant if he turns the map as red as it looks like it's going to be. He hasn't squeaked out. He's won significantly if he ends up with 305 to 233 seats. They were saying it was going to be so close that he would win in Congress if he was going to win. This is a major
Times
victory.
is reporting 95% now.
So a week from now, what's the mainstream media going to be talking about?
Dicks.
Anthony, we'll be back to Anthony Weiner.
Pussies and dicks. How Bill lost the White House from a pussy and Hillary lost it by a dick.
They start digging right away because they're thinking about 2020.
Oh, you think the media's going to come around all of a sudden?
No,
they might throw them under the bus.
No, I think they're going to start fucking attacking Trump and getting ready, just beating him down for 2020 so that it's not 8 years. Trump's really going to have his work cut out with him because he's going to have the whole world against him, and he's going to have to do really well to win. He's going to be held to a higher standard
against him.
If Trump's legit and he beat the Clinton Foundation,
he could be dead too.
They should elevate him to Caesar. I guess supposedly when Julius Caesar, tell me if this is wrong, but Julius Caesar, when he got Egypt to come into Rome, they elevated him to God, right? Wasn't that on Zeitgeist or something?
I can't remember now. You caught me off guard. I've seen those Zeitgeist movies so many times too.
You think all the Zeitgeist stuff is real? All the Christianity stuff? And
I think so.
They elevated him to God when he got with Cleopatra. Their kid was the son of God.
I don't know about that, but like the Bible stuff and the star stuff, like I'm a big fan of Dave Matheson's, and that's what he talks about. You should take that book home.
Oh yeah,
the Star book where he goes through and talks about how the Bible is all, allegory for star formations and the zodiac and precession.
So seriously, if Trump did this with like no money, got all the media on his side without having to pay them at all, and he figured all this out, and then totally everyone should jump behind him because he is like standing above all the others, if that's the case.
That's kind of the way I look at it too. Is he managed to wade into the pool and just go right to the deep end. If it's a true grassroots movement, then I mean that's what it comes down to. Or if he's just another paid shill or controlled opposition, that'll now be turned into a paid shill.
It's the people around Trump that concern me.
That's true.
Yep.
But I mean, the guy's ego is big enough that he's talked a big game. Now it's time to MAGA.
Well, the scariest thing is, I think, what you said. It's, he needs to stay away from hot tubs, small airplanes.
And the bench press.
Yeah.
Eat things out of cans.
If only somebody could have seen this coming.
You did there.
We're going to have like a psychic prediction thing instead of a red book for you, sir. Darren's predictions.
It's different when it wasn't psychic. It was just me being able to read the landscape. Really? Graham's shaking his head already. We should have
believe
put
it more if it was
on.
psychic than you actually reading the landscape.
I should become a political pundit. I'll just guess. I'll just fucking fire out guesses.
I think all you need is a bow tie.
I think that's all you need. And $1 billion.
I'm a little worried how his health's gonna be in 4 years. You see them all just decline demonstrably.
Oh, it could just be a mess. Who knows? He could be the worst president ever.
But but he does have potential for stamina. Like he's, when you talk to the people that have been out there touring with him, he's been doing 5 tours a day, very strong physically.
Insane,
they've never seen anything like it. And you know what a benefit is he doesn't. I don't think he's like drinks a lot or uses a lot of drugs.
No,
like he's going to be, he's probably one of the healthier presidents.
He doesn't.
Supposedly he's never drank.
Well, his brother died of alcoholism, so it's been very personal for him from what I've heard. Like, nobody debates the fact that he's like completely straight edge.
Yep.
And Scott Adams actually made an incredibly good point, because Hillary's known to be a social drinker. And he was talking about dehypnotizing people if they were, under a Hillary delusion. And it was just the idea that, hey, do you want this person in control of the nuclear codes? And he's like, okay, well, this person never drinks and never does any drugs, but this person is known to be a social drinker. We know alcohol affects impairment. Yeah, okay, that is an actual valid concern for a president.
Yeah.
Alcoholism? I think there's a couple presidents that are like drunk all the time. Like back in the day, these fucking guys are just drunk, sending people off to die.
One of my favorite Dan Carlin episodes of Hardcore History was what was it called again?
The cons? They're just
no. It was about what would you call it? Drugs and alcohol through history, and it goes through that, all the leaders and how fucked up they were. That's pretty mind blowing.
Well, Kennedy had a doctor called Dr. Feelgood. I forget what his real name was. Dr. Max Jacobson. And I guess apparently he was just like shooting him full of all sorts of like meth and things like that, just in quote unquote vitamin shots.
Yeah.
Not just him.
Yep, methamphetamines. Oh yeah, he was doing a ton of the super wealthy stars of the day.
Yep.
Bingo bango. Hey, you got a synchro? I didn't play the jingle, so now you got to come up with one.
Yeah, I got one.
I want a good score for my synchronicity. If Graham reads it out, then Darren might give it to me. Hey, don't you please read it low. Yeah.
We should get Mike to tell us his little trip report too. That was pretty funny.
Okay.
We tried to get him to stop before we recorded, but
after the synchro.
So this is from I think I can say his name. This is from Eric. He says,
don't say his last name. Just don't say their last name, and you're always okay.
The subject is Synchro.
Syncredible?
Synchro. Hey guys,
like crow like the bird. Does this mean crow like the bird when you fling your fingers out like a weirdo? Crow.
Hey guys, relatively new listener, but I've loved every minute of the approximately 20 episodes I've listened to so far. I have a rather lengthy story to tell, but I'll try and be brief. I've been going through a rough time lately, battling an eating disorder. Long story short, I exercise myself nearly to death. One of the things that I have learned that I need in my life is a practice of energy. I mean, some sort of qigong, meditation, or other attention paid to how my personal energy resonates with the natural energy around me and embraces my inner creativity. I really loved your episode in which you were speaking with Rhys Thomas. I feel he and I have traveled some of the same roads. A big thing I did outside of the exercise was to subdue my creativeness. Your podcast has opened my eyes to not only the wealth of amazing thinkers out there, but also reinforced what I know I have within myself. Truly, thanks again. Now on to the synchro. I feel that throughout my life I have always been in tune with events that happen around me that line up. I never knew there was an actual term or meaning for these things. Again, thanks. So about 3 weeks ago, I found this documentary about crows, highlighting how intelligent they were. I began to watch, fascinated with this new information. Then a little while after, there was an Instagram post about crows. Funny, coincidental, but nothing out of the ordinary. Today I was sitting at the therapist's office, waiting for her to be able...
What did you say?
Today I was sitting at the therapist's office, waiting for her to be able to see me about... And I was reading a great article about studies done on members of the corvid family. That's crows. During the chat with my therapist, it pains me to say it, but hey, it helps. She was relating her personal story about how close she is with nature. Appropriate because I have such a draw to the natural world. And she said that in one session, her Native American name involved crow. Casually, she gave me a book to read called Animal Speak, The Spiritual and Magical Powers of Creatures Great and Small. Now, like I said, I have listened to the show a bit, so I know the hallmarks of a good synchro when I see one. I stopped for gas, and while listening to an episode of you guys, I happened to look up in front of me, starkly silhouetted on a branch on the very top of a tree, bam, a crow. So I get home and I immediately look up crow and what it means in the symbolism according to the book. Crow. Keynote. The secret magic of creation is calling. So crazy, this is what I've been subduing that has been trying to get out in myself. I knew I had to write to you guys. As I sat to write this very email, I pried off the top of a beer that I've never seen for sale in my local shop, but picked it up on a whim. And printed beneath the lid was a crow. Too much. I'm in disbelief of the synchronicity of it all. I had to go for a quick jog after dinner to process it all. On my run, I remembered an article in a mountain biking magazine I had read recently. Name of the article? As the Crow Flies. Mind blown.
But he was just thinking about a book he read a while ago? That doesn't count. But the crow on the cap.
No. He was on my run. I remembered an article in a mountain biking magazine.
Yeah.
And then the name of the article ended up being As the Crow Flies. So I know my tail rambles a bit, but hey, I put a little bit of me out there. Maybe there's no greater meaning to all of it besides the fact that I just had to write it all to get it out of my brain. Stay warm.
Thanks, buddy.
That was a great one. That's my favorite one because it reminds me of my hawk one a little bit.
My cock? I'll give it an 8.
An 8? Oh, that's pretty good.
Crows are super smart. They never forget a face.
That's right.
My cat killed a crow. And
all the crows were flipping out.
A bunch of crows surrounded our house and wouldn't leave for a couple hours. I think my wife ended up paying some passing by kids $5 to get the crow body out of here, and the crows left with it.
Really?
Yeah. Grace climbed the tree and tackled that motherfucker off the branch. They fell to the ground in a death spiral. Wow. She won.
Wow. I don't think she had the right name though.
Grace?
She wasn't very graceful at all. That cat. She's the type of cat you couldn't even look at in the eye. She just had this creepy look all the time.
Still fuck her up. Now she's a sweetheart.
So what'd you think of that one, Adam?
I think it was good.
I like the part about the creativity, looking it up and realizing that's your issue, one of your issues, and then you look it up and it's crow's got to bring out your creativity.
There you go.
That's like a compound synchro to me.
You can have crow friends. If you make friends with a crow and feed it and shit, you have a buddy for life.
Mm-hmm. Well, birds are pretty smart, man. They're now thinking that they're as smart as cats.
Those motherfuckers used to be dinosaurs.
Yeah, they found this. They've done some new research and found that the neurons inside of a bird's head, although they're larger, they found that they have smaller neurons that can more efficiently compact. So their brain is more dense in neurons than a larger animal's. So, yeah, it looks like they are actually really smart. Which, I mean, if you pay attention to birds and talk to them, it makes sense.
Totally.
You talk to a lot of birds?
All the time, dude. I got a couple of mockingbirds that I've befriended. And I am currently trying to teach the baby mockingbird how to whistle the Mario tune.
Nice.
I would be pretty impressed if you could do that. You should get him to whistle the Grimerica theme.
Well, I'm not that good a whistler. I only got 5 good notes in me.
I don't even know how that would go. So we should go to Trip Report? Is that what we're going to do? Which Trip Report jingle should I play?
Oh, I like the one with Terrence McKenna on there.
The McKenna one?
Yeah.
Not the Grimerica Trip Report.
No.
Fun.
Psychedelics are catalysts of consciousness.
Didgeridoo. This is your spot.
This is the one with
This isn't the one. This isn't the one.
This is the ball in the tree, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it's not the one with the dragonfly at the rave, or not the rave at the festival.
No, okay.
We'll save that one.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a trip report. Though we should have a new report for a 1984 report or something.
Should I make it
electronic spy report?
New World Spam.
New World Spam.
It's kind of weird telling the story when it's all
when you just told it.
Built
we
up
tried
like
to stop
this,
you,
yeah.
but just think Adam will still be here for suspense. Adam will add that element.
So I had a friend in high school.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
It's a little too thick.
Okay, speaking of the mic.
I don't know about this. So we just interviewed with Niles Hecklin. Yeah, Niles. And he was talking about his documentary is all about psychedelics and such, and kind of watching people, I guess, externally have trip or something. I'm not sure exactly. It's terrible the way I'm describing him, but
different episodes, so no, I don't know.
And I don't really know anything about ayahuasca and DMT. That sounds just too heavy for me, but I'm old too. But I did mushrooms once when I was a kid, and it was with some friends, and it was at their house, and their house was, I guess, it was on a nice bluff of a cliff. It's in upstate New York, and it was like native land, and it was special to the natives. You know, who knows? But all the trees in his yard were perfect. He had this willow tree. It was a great big tree. It must have been probably, 60, 80 feet wide and 40, 60 feet tall. And you could go up to the tree at any point and climb up it like a jungle gym. It was like a perfect tree. And we were playing Frisbee, and we ate some mushrooms, right, in his backyard. And they were all friends, and I was invited there with one of them. And so they all knew the yard and knew the place. And they were kind of, they were different than most other people, I guess, this group of friends, these 4 boys. And we were throwing Frisbees and baseballs and footballs and whatever. And there was a pine tree, a spruce tree in the middle of the backyard, which I think they used to decorate for Christmas rather than bring a tree inside. You just decorated that one every Christmas and looked at it. And the ball, it was behind me, and the ball went into the tree above me and behind me. And I turned and I looked, and I couldn't find the ball anywhere. And all the friends gathered together, and they were laughing and pointing, and they were like, "You have to ask the tree for your ball back." And I was like, I don't know, I was probably 19 or 20. Grew up in suburbia, and I was like, I got to ask the tree for my ball back. Are you kidding me? And they're like, "No, dude, you really have to do that." So I turned, and, everything around me, all the wind and everything stopped. Everything was watching me, like all the birds and everything was watching. And I asked the tree, like, "Hey man, can I have my ball back?" And they're like, no. You have to be polite. You have to, acknowledge the tree and connect. And I was like, okay. So I kind of did that, grounded myself, and asked the tree, connected with it, and asked the tree, "Can I have the ball back, please?" And no shit, the ball dropped to the ground and rolled to my feet. And all my friends were there. There was nobody else there.
Was everybody flipping out? Like, ah!
Nope. They just started laughing and pointing, and they're just like, "Welcome to our club."
For them, it was normal.
Wow.
It was totally normal.
Welcome to their club. So there wasn't a guy like in the top of the tree, like...
No. It wasn't that tall a tree. It was only like, less than 20 feet tall, but like probably 12 or 14 feet wide at the base. But the point of all that is that the psychedelic changed the way you perceive things. Whether that happened or not, now I have in my experience and my, that this thing could happen. The trees are actually, alive, and humans are actually just another little flea on this consciousness of Earth, and we are nothing. And if we continue to screw it up really bad, she's going to probably need some, flea stuff.
I could see how you could think that after listening to Rack Razum and Niles Heckman talk about the Earth and how conscious it was and how it's actually like helping us evolve consciousness through psychedelics.
Yeah. And what's really weird I just thought about is, because we just recently had fleas on one of our dogs, being the end of the summer, but the stuff that they use to kill them is called Revolution too. That's the name of the brand.
To kill the fleas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Vive la revolution.
That's really weird. There's a synchronicity right there.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, that was a good one. We don't rate trip reports, but that would be way up there.
You don't have to give me a good scoring because I'm sitting in front of you.
I don't rate them. Just synchros.
Do you got anything new for us, Adam?
I don't know. I've been laser focused on WikiLeaks for the last week and a half. So
crazy. So what's in there?
Have you found stuff that we haven't heard through the media yet?
No, pretty much all the big bomb stuff dropped and eventually got hit. So I can't think of anything that hasn't really gone out there. And, to hit back to the election for a second, one thing that was blowing my mind, even though I kept hoping for a bigger leak, with as big as some of these leaks have been already, it's like if this isn't going to sway somebody's mind, then nothing will. It doesn't matter how big it's going to get.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. That's a really good point.
Well, in 2008, AJ, if I remember correctly, was talking all about how, fine, put Obama in and everybody will wake up because of how bad he will be.
He was pretty bad, but no one woke up.
I think a lot of people have woken up.
Yeah, I guess at least
I think right now from 2008, we are way more woken up. The question is, how much equanimity does everyone have? Because awareness and equanimity go together. Like two birds of a crow.
A feather.
Two wings of a crow. Did I say that right?
I guess we'll see. Thought. Well, hopefully we're still doing the show in 4 years. Hopefully Trump doesn't close the internet. Or bomb Canada.
Or license you out of it.
That's right. Most of our listeners are in the States. So.
Let's start a podcast union.
Well, yeah.
We could span up a pretty quick little underground network pretty quick with our podcast fucking web.
Well, I guess speaking of that, do you want to ask for some support? Or
we should. Do you want to do it this week?
Support the show.
We do need some help. Winter is coming. We got to pay the bills. It costs a little more when winter rolls around, of course. And we have all our monthly expenses, and of course it really helps. We do this all out of pocket, and there's a hobby. We give all this stuff to you for free. We don't do any ads. We don't do any paywalls. We don't do anything. Everything we ever do, we give away for free. All we ask in return is that if you find a little value in the show from time to time, you throw a little value back our way, whether that be in the form of a one-time donation or a monthly subscription, anywhere from $1 a month to $30 a month. The most popular one seems to be the $5.55, which I think works out to about $1 a show.
Yeah, some people send stuff to the P.O. Box too. I just got a letter and a card actually from the person who helped us with the computer who won the draw there, Nikki the Dude.
Nikki the Dude?
Gave us Halloween card with $40. Thanks, Nikki.
Any candy?
No candy.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
He's from Adams State, I think. Isn't he from Florida?
He's from Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
Yeah. I wonder how he's liking the laptop.
The tablet?
Is it Georgia? I could be wrong about that. Shit.
Louisiana, maybe.
I don't know. Nikki knows. Anyways. Nikki knows we know him. He was here almost since day one. So anyway, yeah, if you find all those things, if you can afford $5 a month or so to throw us our way, sign up there, and that really helps. Big thanks to those of you who already do.
All the links are in the show notes.
If it wasn't for you guys, who knows if we'd still be here. All the links are in the show notes. If you can't help monetarily, of course, you can always send in your synchros, trip reports, and such to Graham. Sign up for the newsletter, and most important of all, tell your friends about this show.
Thanks, Darren.
I should record that.
You should.
And just
put it on a button.
No. It's better.
It's better.
Yeah, it's better this way.
Doesn't seem to be any more effective. The margins are still at about 1 in 100.
Yeah.
And Adam, Darren turned me on to your show, No Agenda. And it's
no, he's not No Agenda.
Oh, this isn't? I thought this is what
donations.
No, it's he listens to No Agenda with like we do as well, and the guys that we have on, are
I've only listened to a couple and
donators to the No Agenda show. So it's all linked. Yeah.
Oh, this is Adam. This is Adam Loyal.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah. But
I've only listened to a few of those shows, but no, yeah.
Darren was on my podcast, Friends to Know.
I see. My bad.
That's where I go for my political rants.
I'm kind of new to all that, so sorry about that.
I'll put a link to that in the show notes too.
Friends to Know.
Yeah. There you go.
Know your friends.
So
Yeah.
hopefully next week sometime we can do our celebration show, Adam?
Sure. Absolutely, man.
I think that's about it.
Down.
Yeah, and we'll talk. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, enjoy the chat with Andrew Lemessiny and Nick the Rat.
Yeah, enjoy the bonus show. This was a bonus show, so send your cash.
So check it out. It's 95% for Trump.
Oh, here we go. We should give him a file tally when we're off the air. This stops recording.
And did you guys hear?
Is Darren's prediction
Have you
still?
heard
No, let's put it for the record. Graham thinks that it's going to be Hillary by a landslide, right?
No, Trump. Well, I don't know.
No. I mean, I'm just worried that it's not going to be this comeback thing. Like, you never know.
Trump by a landslide. Hillary wins.
Hillary. I like that little Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Hillary wins.
I think even at the low end now, the Times has them with 280 seats.
Well, it's 244 to 209, right? So
that's right. And there's a lot of red left.
What's considered a landslide, Adam? Like,
I don't think this would be considered a quote unquote landslide, but it's certainly it's not as close as it could have been.
I think 2/3 is landslide, right?
He probably he'll have 2/3 of the states.
It'll be interesting to see what the overall majority vote is afterwards. Taking out the Electoral College, that'll be a pretty good indicator of where America's at. Assuming the validity of the voting system.
Yeah, exactly. And there was probably a little bit less fraud this year
than usual.
Not if you're watching Project Veritas. Oh my God, the videos they were putting out today. Pastors, pastors getting their congregations together on video and putting them in buses and telling them who to vote for.
Yeah,
crazy
Bush
stuff.
did that.
Yeah, but that's not really fraud, though, is it?
That's just it's
under the article something. It is illegal for churches to engage and direct and do all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty explicitly written, and they were breaking the law.
Yeah, but they're 501c3s.
That's right.
Doesn't that mean they have to do what the government says because they give them the money?
They don't give them the money. They're tax exempt, aren't they?
They're tax exempt.
Which is the same as giving them money.
There's got to be a string.
So they were obviously voting Republican then, Adam, or
no? They were
voting.
Veritas don't go after Republicans.
Well, yeah, because here's what you're right. Because Veritas didn't infiltrate the Republican Party; they infiltrated the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So I mean, clearly there was probably fuckery going around on the other side, but I mean, geez, I think they're both screwing around.
Definitely.
And then that goes to WikiLeaks too. They didn't get any of the stuff from the Republican Party. They didn't get anything from the Libertarian Party, which, I think what really happened in the whole WikiLeaks things, if you really look at it, somebody in the Podesta emails, probably Podesta, clicked on a phishing link and gave somebody all their information, and they logged in and downloaded everything. It was just that simple. It wasn't a quote unquote hack. It was just unencrypted emails.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what the narrative changes to on that tomorrow.
Well, I can imagine how difficult it is. I'm having a hard time with my new email, trying to switch emails from one. What are you shaking your head for, Darren?
Because
just from
the
getting
only person in the world I know that could be this. No. Problems getting a new phone.
You saw my emails are in the wrong order. I'm trying to get them. I'm missing. I've got gaps of months that are missing, and they're on one device and not on another device. Like, imagine in a big organization trying to get it sorted out, and using Gmail.
Never seen anything like it.
I know.
Well, you guys, let me ask you a quick question. Would you guys be interested in, well, I shouldn't say interested in, I have Hushmail, so I can do encrypted end-to-end communication with somebody if I send them a message, but I have to have an encryption key ahead of time. So if you guys wanted in the future, I could just email you or like physically mail you on a card a word, and then if you ever wanted to communicate me, if you had a machine that you knew was secure, we could do that encrypted.
I'm not too worried about it.
Okay.
As long as the word is not it.
If WikiLeaks dumps my emails, the 3 people who read them are going to be disappointed.
We might have to do that if Trump is legit and they clamp down on.
I just say that for the future. That way, if we ever wanted to do it, it's just in the bag. You know it. And
yeah, I think we should do it for sure.
I have the Edward Snowden app for texting.
Signal, the one that's been infiltrated.
That's the one. James makes me use it. He's the only person I talk to on it.
Yeah, he's probably CIA.
James is, yeah.
I'm outing him.
I know. I thought about that actually. Dude.
James is infiltrating Grimerica.
Yeah, he's Grimerica's handler.
He's not a skydiver. He's special ops, dude. NSA special ops.
I've thought about it.
James, you've thought about if James is handling you?
No, us.
That's only in his dreams. Well, I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so where's it at? Are you there? Are you still?
It's an hour.
No. I mean, where's the election at?
It's at 305 projected for Trump. Right now it's 244 to 209.
So everybody still thinks it's going to happen then?
Yeah, it's over 95%. I think CNN tweeted out 99%.
That's crazy. People must be losing their shit in parts of Hollywood.
People are packing up to move to
this
Canada.
Is great. I wish I had it here. Seth MacFarlane actually put out a very clever quote, although I don't agree with it. And it was a Twilight Zone quote. And it was something like, yes, Andy, we will. Shit, I wish I remembered what it was.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. I don't remember that Twilight Zone episode.
Anyhow, enjoy the chat. Hope you enjoyed the bonus ep.
Do you think Trump will put himself on Mount Rushmore?
He should.
All the faces.
Chip them all off.
I'll redo them all.
Enjoy the chat with Nick the Rat and Andrew Lemonacy. Lemonacy?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Not how Graham says it.
Not how I say it.
Nice to meet you, Adam.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Not Adam Curry. Adam Oil.
Friends to know.
All right, tonight we've got a special episode. It's our inaugural no agenda sort of night roundtable podcast, and we've got Nick the Rat with us, who is a infamous cover artist, and we've also got Andrew Lemessany, who's Baron of America's Mountain. And it's it's great to have you guys on and just chit chat a little bit. Welcome.
Hello.
Am I allowed to hang out? Am I allowed here if I don't have a knighthood?
Yeah, you can because you're my co-host.
I'm under yours. Yeah, I'm like your subordinate.
Yeah, you're my patsy.
I should actually ask you to call me M. Andrew Jones. Just or add that in there. I have too many names.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, actually. I see Andrew Jones coming by in different mediums, and I wonder if you're a Lemessany or a Jones, or what's going on.
So Lemessany is my real name. Jones is my... Oh, wow, now I'm even pronouncing it that way. It's Lemessany. But, yeah.
So,
Jones is my pseudonym, my nom de plume.
It's Lemonacy?
Lemessany.
Lemessany, you sure?
I'm positive.
You haven't corrected John C. Dvorak yet, I don't think.
Or me.
You know, John, he actually said it right once, and Adam, instantly corrected him to the wrong pronunciation.
That's pretty funny.
But
it's me anyway.
So the one thing we have in common, all four of us, is we obviously contribute in some way or another to the No Agenda show, which, I mean, you know, we're not really an advertisement for, but we do talk about it a lot. Darren's actually got the shirt right now on, but we do talk about it a lot in this podcast because it kind of overlaps with stuff we talk about all the time. And once I started listening to them, which wasn't too long ago, actually just after we started ours, so about 3 years, I mean, even though I knew the media was full of lies, after listening to John and Adam and deconstruct a little bit, now I can't really watch the media or listen to the media at all anymore. I have zero patience for it.
It's. I used to feel crazy until I heard their show, and I was like, "Wow, this is kind of how I feel," and nobody else shares this opinion. So it helped me mentally. That podcast.
Man, we might have never found him if it wasn't for the podcast. Because remember, it was the producer of that other weird show that told us to check out No Agenda.
Yeah. Well, I looked for them. I was told about them like probably just after they started, and I legitimately did a search for No Agenda. This is back like probably 7 or 8 years ago, and I couldn't find them. I didn't find them on my podcast. Like I think I was just using a podcast app on iTunes or something like that.
Podcast app on actual computer.
Yeah. So I mean, the first time I tried, and then I forgot all about them for years. So, and I think that would have ruined our podcast. Like if I would have found them too long ago, I don't think we would have done this.
Would we copying them, you think?
I just wouldn't have even done it. I wouldn't have gone down the same rabbit holes that I went down to get to where I am now.
But you're
you
like
think their podcast in a suitcase is going to take off?
I don't think so.
The what? The podcast in a suitcase?
Yeah.
It's like $500.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that fucking thing to come out for a couple of years now because I'm pretty intrigued about the idea. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the setup we've got now, but it would be pretty cool to have that thing for traveling.
Yeah.
Because originally it was going to be like the size of a small book, I think, but it's getting bigger.
I would just like to have a dedicated audio machine. Because I'm always messing around with my audio and then it gets all fucked up. And then, but if you just had like one dedicated thing for it, dude, it'd be handy, I think.
Actually, that's just what we just fundraised for a new studio recording computer, and that's kind of what we have now because that was difficult for us as well. We had this really old Mac that was about to crash, and now we have a brand new Mac recording computer just for that. But I mean, I think so many people are doing it in all these different ways. Like basically laptops, or a lot of people are just recording on their iPhones. So I think this whole suitcase podcast thing is, I mean, obviously that would be the way to do the best quality. Like if Adam built something like that. But I mean, I think that quality is good enough now for most people that there's all these different easier ways to do it.
Just don't bring it to school with you. They might think it's a bomb.
You didn't put a little digital display on it. Paint the digits on the outside of it for a clock.
Well, how long have you been listening to the No Agenda show, Adam? Andrew?
My brother introduced it to me about, I want to say, shortly before show 200.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we got in around 600 or so. If that. It was late 600s. Had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was all in as soon as I heard it. I was like, you guys are great.
Wow, and Nick, you were in there around that time, right? Because your first artwork was what, episode 218?
Yeah, it was something like that. I got on because of Twit, and I was all into that Twit TV crap with Leo Laporte, and John was on there, and I was blown away by John. And then I followed him from there to No Agenda. And yeah, so it's been a pretty long time, a few years, and I listened to, I think, every episode since then. Boy, vey.
And then you do your own podcast as well, eh, Nick? What is that called again?
I think it's just Nick the Rat Radio.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I sometimes call it Midnight in the Sewer, but when I do the show at midnight, I'm kind of sleepy and really stoned, so earlier, so I have more energy.
That's tough to hold out till midnight when you've been smoking grass.
Yeah, it's just, I'm just like, hey, and next song is good night. Like, I don't want to do that no more. So I usually just do it at like 6 o'clock on Wednesdays.
What do you chat about?
You know, I have a phone line. People call in and talk about aliens, Bigfoot, and I basically play music and do news reports and play the news. So it's like a weird mix of everything. I don't know.
It's like what I heard was like Jerky Boy gets kind of in between music.
I was sort of Grand Theft Auto, and Fallout, like with the radio station in the background. So that's kind of.
So last time you were reaming on Mother Teresa and who's the other one? Mandela.
Yeah. Nobody escapes the wrath of Nick the Rat.
Yeah.
I was listening to your last episode of when you were talking about lucid dreaming and stuff.
Yeah.
I got some tips. I got tips to help you out.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
So
I'm going to play the jingle.
Hang on. Yeah, Darren's got a jingle for us.
Is it real or a dream? What does that even mean?
Lucid dreaming. So tip number. I know this is going to be hard for you, but don't smoke weed that day.
Oh yes, it's not hard for me. I don't smoke weed, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
don't smoke weed
because that stops your. It stops your dreams from happening. Tip number 2 is drink water before you go to sleep, because it's good to be like at the waking state sorta. And when you got to pee, you kind of wake up fast. One of you guys peed in the bed. I remember hearing that too.
I used to pee in the bed. Yeah.
Somebody had a dream of peeing, and then they woke up. And
that's Darren.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, guilty as charged.
You know, lately,
that wasn't recently, for the record.
I've had dreams where I was peeing, but I wasn't peeing in the bed.
I did that once.
So is that like some sort of accomplishment? That's pretty good, right?
I don't know. I think maybe you were just about to.
Not be in the bed.
That was a warning shot. You got up in time. What? I didn't. Because I think in my dream, I've always finished peeing by the time I wake up. So did you actually pee during the dream, or were you just about to pee?
No, I actually peed in the dream, but I didn't pee my bed.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you can come in your dream and not really come, or you can have a wet dream. I think both of those work, right?
You think?
Yeah. But it's really hard to.
You think?
People keep interrupting me. I need to find a new place.
Do you know what I did to have better dreams? I climbed up a mountain and I threw a bottle of rum off of it.
That work?
Yeah. But do you know who Gordon White is?
No, I have not.
He wrote this book called Chaos Protocols, and he has this big long thing about. Yeah, so I went and did one of those on top of a mountain, and that gave me better dreams.
Why rum?
More vivid dreams. I don't know. That was just what was described.
Is that the Gordon White we had on?
The Chaos Protocols guy?
Yeah, I think so, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. His new book, the ships, Starships or whatever.
Yeah. So I've been getting some strange dreams.
Huh.
Did you have to go all the way to the top of the mountain? Or can you just go up the mountain?
I didn't have to go up the mountain at all.
What?
I just did that on top of it.
Darren's not following you.
There's this whole, there's this silly ritual for getting dreams in one of his books. So I was bored, so I went through it.
So what is it? Could you go through it?
First. Let's see. Oh man, I don't have the book with me at the moment, and I have all my stuff packed away because I'm moving tomorrow.
So are you metaphorically climbing the mountain then?
No, there was a mountain in my backyard. Well, not it's like half a mile away. And so I climbed up it one day, and there's this big long ritual in one of his books, and I stood on top of the mountain, and I did that to try and get attention.
Okay.
And part of the ritual is a bottle of rum. And you pour it in each direction as you summon, as you call the spirits of the directions to you. Essentially just beg their favor.
Yeah.
So essentially I just climbed a mountain and I was begging the favor of the universe to notice and help me in my endeavors. And that has given me some dreams.
Did it work? Did they come for the rum?
I have no idea.
But your dreams have improved.
But my dreams they're kind of crazy.
You should try that, Graham. I think you should.
I know.
Test that
Darren
out.
can tell that I'm thinking of trying that.
You got to go to the top of the mountain, though. No,
I got lots of mountains around here, man. I can go to the
just
top.
go to the top. You can't go like halfway up.
I can go to the top. There's lots of mountains here. I climb up to the top of mountains all the time.
I want to see a picture. I want to see a selfie with you with the rum on the top of the fucking mountain.
In your backyard. Don't drink the whole bottle of rum. I barely touched the... No, I took like a sip.
Does he have to drink the rum? He doesn't have to drink the rum, does he?
No, I didn't drink the rum. I sacrificed it. I poured it out.
Okay,
I poured it for the direction.
Because I don't want to drink any of it.
You don't like rum?
Yeah. No, I'm an alcoholic, so I can't drink at all.
Oh. I'm not an alcoholic.
I know a lot of alcoholics. Danger of my profession.
So did you ask for dreams specifically, or were you just asking for that more of that in general thing?
I think because it was like from the ritual I took from Gordon White's book, I kind of modified it. I did most of what he said, and morally I just elaborated on what he said to do.
Yeah.
And he said that if nothing else, this would give you really vivid dreams.
Oh.
And that's what I've gotten out of it. So,
wow. So what's your tip number 3 there, Nick?
Tip number 3 is what I did 2, right? Water. Actually, I got like maybe 4 tips. Before you go to sleep, you also have to like do like a mantra in your head saying that you know you're going to sleep. So as you're falling asleep, you have to be like, I'm going to sleep, and just keep saying that. Kind of helps you to see your dreams for what they are when you're there. But you could also set your alarm for like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And kind of like disrupt your dream.
Yeah.
That helps too. And finally, I've seen in dreams like the lighting always seems to be really tonal. And if you could notice that in your dream, you could sort of know you're dreaming and stop and kind of control it from there.
Okay, that's nice. Okay.
I wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, like almost every night.
Then you should be able to do the wake back to bed method, right? Where you wake up and then you go back in. That's when you're supposed to be able to get into the dream easier and lucid dream easier.
That's all.
What's that?
All right. This is Graham and Darren. Do you guys have dreams at all?
I do. Darren doesn't much because he smokes a lot of green grass.
Medication.
It does lower the dreams. I've noticed this too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fight. It's like, do I want to have really cool dreams or do I want to have really cool waking life?
Well, Dennis McKenna said he was offsetting it with something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was some sort of, because I said that and he was like, no, that's bullshit, man. He's like, I smoke a lot of weed and he's like, I still have cool dreams all the time. But he was doing some sort of tease or something. I should email him. And
yeah, find out, because this comes up a lot in our podcast, lucid dreaming and pot and dreams and lack of dreams and people giving us advice on lucid dreaming.
We should make a book.
Yeah, the lucid.
It'd be the worst book ever because not Graham can't do it yet. It'd just be a fucking. I guess it could be a comedy.
I can't do it.
Like,
I can't do any of the taking control and flying stuff.
I could do it.
Graham could be the Carl Pilkington of the lucid dreaming world.
So what's your guys' favorite no agenda meme right now?
Clinton Foundation.
Yeah, there was another one I liked too that just came out. Now I'm trying to remember what it is.
I'm too high to.
Your Ortel show on the Foundation, that was great, by the way. The Charles Ortel.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Most hate mail ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when they read their hate mail. That's my favorite part.
What's the meme I'm thinking of? Oh, the new one, the drug. You know what it is? That recently, which blows me away, and that we haven't talked about more, is the drug shit, right? That Kratom drug stuff, and how the fucking pharmaceutical companies just waiting to get their little fucking patents on it and just destroy the legality of the fucking natural part of it that's really helping people with no side effects. It fucking drives me nuts.
Schedule 1 narcotic.
Oh,
it's dangerous. It's real dangerous stuff. I'm joking.
It'll get you off opioids.
yeah, exactly. That's the problem, right? I mean,
both of those are bad. So they need to patent it, and they need to get you off of opioids.
No, get you on
or
opioids.
Keep you on the opioids.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a news story recently about like they came out with these fake opioids that don't give you any bad side effects or something? I read about that recently. It's probably bullcrap.
Synthetic opioids,
I don't know.
more synthetic.
But then you wouldn't have to get prescriptions for the side effect stuff. So that's just working against the overall plan for those guys.
I'm Googling right now, see if I can find it.
Nick the Rat is high on placebos right now. So
don't on the placebos.
That's what they are. The new synthetic
Sugar
opioids are just placebos. So what's your meme of the day, Andrew?
I actually hadn't thought about it. Let's see. Yeah. I'm coming up dry at the moment, actually.
So you just thought about the question.
I like the donation segment.
Really? Like the long one, or just the first one?
Mostly the letters. You know, what people have to say. The first one mostly because that's where they actually read the letters, or all of them. But sometimes some of the other ones get through some of the good lesser letters.
Yeah.
Mine's the first one too, because that's when they'll say my name sometimes.
That's right. Well, more times than any other artist, I bet, eh, Nick?
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, have you got the record? Is anybody keeping a tally of that?
There's the No Agenda art generator.
Yeah.
But there's no, I don't have the stats for it. So, but the whole Clitor. Couture, I think that's his name. Well, he's probably got more stats, but all the art before 200, I think somebody deleted it. Like, I think the artist deleted all the art, and they haven't submitted before or after that. It's weird. I'm not too sure because there's a lot of stuff before I started submitting too, but it's not on the art generator.
I love the Dvorak rants. That's not really a meme, but I like when John goes off on shit.
John T. Curry's pet peeve of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually right now I think I really like the Turkey stuff. And what's going on with Erdogan and Gulen and ISIS and what a mess.
And the 9/11 shit and vetoing Obama
the 28 pages?
Obama vetoing the legislation to sue Saudi Arabia.
I think Andrew's line is bugged.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
It does sound like the classic FBI bug.
Yeah.
That's
Andrew,
the one they want you to know that's there, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you for a free company?
But am I what?
Do you work for the CIA?
No.
So the funny thing is,
you have to tell us if you do.
The funny thing is, the last guest that we just had on before we just started recording with you guys, I got an email from somebody that was saying he's like an Illuminati, like non-lethal weapon agent, and like a shill for the Illuminati, like basically one of the head bad guys. And And, so the whole time Dr. Richard Allen Miller. And and the whole time I was trying to get, not the whole time, a couple times I was trying to, get it out of him that people are accusing you of being a shill on these forums, above top secret and all that. But he wouldn't really, he did a really good job at answering another part of the question that wasn't really directly related with that. And I was like, he's either really, really good or he's just oblivious to the question I'm trying to ask.
Looking at pictures of him, he can't be evil. This guy looks awesome.
Yeah. It's hard to believe.
What does he talk about?
Oh man.
He's hard to believe.
Fuck. He makes sense. Seems to make sense.
Yeah, black budget tech, physics and metaphysics and nanoparticles and alternative agriculture and prepping and
we got really he really talked about what was it? Cavitation.
Oh yeah, so we got into
when you put your head back on.
I guess it's the shit generated by either the prop of a submarine, those bubbles that it's generating,
or just restructuring water, how it actually creates
the void created. If you drop say a cannonball in the water, it's gonna it drags a pocket of air down with it, and then at some point that pocket of air is cut off from the outside world, and that's
but then it just floats back up to the surface and pops, right?
Yeah,
no, but it changes the structure of the water actually.
Yeah, it does something to it.
So it changes it from O2 to O3.
From H2O3.
H2O3 or something like that.
To H3O2.
H3O2, yeah.
Do the fish get high if they bring that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Near as I can tell.
How much of it changes? It can't be.
And I guess that's the same.
I don't know about how much of the volume changes because.
Can I make a career of this? Can I just go and do people buy this? What is this water for? It's pure, or
just pour it over your crystals. Pour it over your Himalayan salt crystals, and you get the same thing.
No, I don't think you can buy the water.
Yeah, you can do it yourself, right? You can put it in the sun in a glass jar and then pour it over crystals, and then you let it sit in the sun, and it restructures the water, physically changes the molecular structure of your water, and makes it way healthier.
Okay, so you just pour the salt crystals in your water, and then you set it in the sun. Is what you're saying?
First you have to.
Yeah, this isn't what he's saying. This is what I've been hearing about lately, and I tried to ask him about it, but we got into the whole cavitation thing because the cavitation also changes the structure of the water. Well, no, it's a similar process.
Similar, but different. This is more.
Have you ever heard
this has more implications
Greg?
in cold fusion.
Yeah. What's that, Andrew?
Have you ever heard? There's this researcher named Greg Pollack.
Yeah, he mentioned his work.
A book called The Fourth Phase of Water.
Yes, that's what he was talking about.
I did read that. That was very interesting. But I don't remember. Yeah, this is something else. This sounds interesting, though.
It is.
And I've heard the salt and something about the salt in the sun, I thought they were saying. And then you drop it in water, but...
It's got something to do with not only the minerals and the stuff in the salt, but also it's actually the water pouring over. It mimics a stream, right? Like water, fresh water from a stream is structured differently than bottled water. But I don't know the physical details of it, but it's supposed to be way healthier.
It's kind of
no, it's over my head too. It gets Okay, interesting stuff. I can't wait to hear it.
So do you work for the CIA?
Yeah, it definitely does. I got $5 on
that. No, I don't. I'd have to tell you if I did, right?
That's right.
That's in the rules.
You have to tell us.
What did you have?
I do. I have to tell you.
My buddy, this guy I know was just at a festival in Virginia, and he swears he's seen a dragonfly drone. He thinks the whole fucking festival is a big CIA psyop.
Really?
Yeah.
What and this is the first time I'm hearing about this?
I just heard about it on Sunday.
What kind of festival? Like an EDM rave music festival kind of thing? With a fucking dragonfly drone?
Yeah.
And they're in there like infiltrating like they did in the 60s with the acid and the music festivals and all that. And
he's a real interesting cat. We should have him on the show sometime. He's a total hippie.
I was at a Ren fair and there's a lot of bees flying around.
There you go.
Were these dragonfly drones like the size of dragonflies?
Yeah, he said it was all black, and he said it didn't have the like metallic-y, gasoline-y kind of gloss like dragonflies usually do, and the wings didn't have any real translucence to them.
You think they would like fake that at least, right?
And then he said it looked like it had almost like little rocket launchers on the back. It was probably the battery pack. And he said he was like chasing it.
Oh, yeah.
He was trying to catch it and it ran away, and it like went over a fence and turned around and looked back at him.
Oh, fuck. No, wait. Was he tripping on something, though? Probably.
He said he didn't say he was taking any drugs. I don't know if
But he was at a festival.
He was at a festival. Well, you go to festivals and just creep around.
Yeah.
So who knows? He could have been, he didn't say that he was on I'm assuming he was sober.
Yeah, but even still, it would have been crazy.
Yeah, man. He said next time he's going to bring a net. But if you catch it, they're probably going to come looking for it.
I'm sure it self-destructs into nanoparticles.
If you catch it, you get to keep it.
Yeah, or they come and get you. You need like a little Faraday cage to throw it in right away.
So like the signal can stop going.
Make a Faraday cage net. Could you?
That's right. It just disappears.
Do a mesh wire net.
Yeah.
Poof. Yeah. Maybe you could use, if you got like, I wonder if you could just use like a strainer, like a steel strainer, put that on the end of a stick. But you do always run the risk that it just fucking explodes if it loses contact, so no one can steal the tech. It fucking blows your face off.
No, you don't get to see those drones.
Blows your face off first. As soon as you take
they're too high.
Boom!
So, did you guys watch the debates last night?
No agenda does that for me.
Yes, me too. I know. It's hard
I didn't watch it.
I was thinking about turning it on for a bit. I forgot it was on until halfway through, but that's what I rely on John and Adam for to give us the highlights and deconstruct it.
They can watch that.
And a couple other podcasts too that I listen to for that type of thing.
I'm a little burnt out on the Clinton and Trump stuff. I'm ready for it to end.
Yeah, me too.
Get this election over with.
It's only another month.
It's time.
Yeah. So you guys are both in the States, right? Where are you at, Nick?
I'm in Brooklyn, New York. I'm in New York.
Nice.
Sewers.
And I'm in Holiday, Utah.
Utah. I got another buddy that's in Utah.
They have nice mountains.
He said he's like 2 hours from Vegas.
Oh, okay. He's down in St. George.
Yeah. That sounds familiar. He's actually a cop, a drug cop.
You sure he doesn't work for Area 51? That's pretty like about 2 hours from Vegas too. Less than that even.
I think he works for the war on drugs.
Really, eh?
I think so, yeah.
He's doing a good job.
He said it's messy down there, though. He's like, every day he runs into heroin and fucking meth. Every day. He's like, it's an anomaly if I don't see heroin or meth in my shift.
Did he talk about fentanyl at all?
No.
Just heroin and meth, really?
I don't think fentanyl is getting down there yet. Maybe it is. I don't know.
It's not populated enough?
Yeah, it could not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the population density of Utah. But
Are you starting to see Kratom?
Yeah, Kratom, holy fuck. That's when you just give up and go home.
Do you guys actually know anybody that uses it? Because I've never heard of it before this whole episode.
No, I've never heard of it either. And I'd imagine it's either already or outlawed in Canada, or they don't even give a shit. It's one of those two, I would say.
Well, you'll follow in 6 months.
I don't think they've even outlawed that. Have they outlawed? Can you just still get what's that black shit you smoke?
Hash?
No.
Peyote?
I forget what the fuck it's called.
Ibogaine?
It's like sativa, something like that.
K2?
Salvia?
Salvia, yeah, that's right. Can you still buy that in the States?
I don't think so. Not really.
I think you can still buy
Yeah,
that
I'm
at
not
the head
sure.
shops here. You can still buy pot seeds at the head shops here, which is weird.
Are you sure it's not just hemp?
No, you go by strain. Okay.
When you went to the weed dispensary, did you see any old women?
I did.
No.
I did. It was definitely not mostly old women, though.
No, there was a lineup at one point.
Yeah, there was an old woman.
That's awesome.
So when do we get to start growing hemp again?
We do grow hemp.
That'd make a great hat. Grow hemp again.
Grow hemp.
Grow hemp again.
America grow hemp.
Make it could be like a Trump
Make
thing,
America
right?
hemp again.
Yeah.
Make hemp American. Yeah.
Make hemp American again.
Cut down all that GMO corn, grow some hemp, get some fucking cows and chickens running around in there eating and shitting and fucking whatever else. And
make potato chips out of hemp?
And then make rope.
Probably. If you can, I'll eat them. I got some little hemp...
hemp hearts or hemp seeds?
Yeah, and they're fucking good. These little hemp, they're like little chocolate. It's like... But
it's not THC filled?
No, it's just a little energy.
No, hemp doesn't have the THC.
Hemp doesn't get you high, motherfucker.
It just has everything else.
Paper,
makes clothes
rope,
and paper, rope, and basically cars. It can
Fuel.
run the whole world.
Yeah, you can basically run the whole world.
Yeah.
You can run the whole world and cure most diseases with fucking these plants.
Which is why it must be illegal, along with all the other stuff. No, actually, I have to say, I feel like alcohol has its place. There's a lot of alcohol bashing, and I just want to set the record straight on spirit. Well, we call them spirits because they have medicinal value. You know, they shut down the mind, they shut down the body, but they open up the heart. That's why people get all violent and ragey or weepy or jubilant. And that's why we call it spirits.
Yeah, I don't villainize alcohol, but I guess I just use it because it's an easy argument. It's an easy argument. It makes it seem easier to get it across to people when you can compare it to something that's legal and is being abused
And so
en
destructive,
masse.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it's like, I know I'm a much better person since I quit drinking. And
well, I think it's much more difficult. It has a bigger pull and is more hard and has more of a downside than weed, in my opinion.
Hangovers.
It's like meth has even more of a downside. Don't do meth, kid.
And I do still enjoy, like, I don't not drink. Like, I'll still, every few months have some wine with the wife or, go out for someone's birthday and I'll get fucking drunk and I'll have a blast doing it. In the moment, it's fucking, you're laughing, you're uninhibited and just having a great time. And then you wake
Till you
up.
cross that line.
Or you,
three drinks in.
and then a couple of one or two things happen. Either you have a great night and wake up with a terrible hangover, or you drink too much and have a fucking terrible night and wake up with an even worse hangover.
Or you could.
Well, if it ain't working for you, then don't do it.
What was that, Nick?
If you drink too much, you might get chased by dragonflies.
I remember talking about that in 80s, when I used to smoke dope when I was younger. We used to make the comparison, me and my buddies, about alcohol and pot. That was back in 86, 87, probably.
To me,
88.
we
used to compare that. Look at, we're sitting around a table getting high, and it's way different than just sitting around the table getting drunk.
I think it compares more to, like we were talking about before the show, fine wine. Like sitting around smoking a joint can be it sort of does to me equate with maybe sitting around and sharing a bottle of wine with 4 or 5 friends where, no one's really you're not getting drunk. that you're just getting that, and it's kind of, I hope that's the route that it takes through legalization and doesn't just become like Bud, Pilsner, and fucking whatever other beers are popular down there, and fucking instead it just stays like fine wines where it's, more of an art, which is where it seems to be right now. And I just hope it doesn't get fucking corporatized.
Well, this stuff is all growing from the earth. You can't stop it. It's weed is you can grow it anywhere. You can grow alcohol in your toilet bowl, and it's nothing that you could really do anything to stop it.
Yeah.
Oh man, CIA.
I can't wait to start growing.
Nick, can you divulge some of your secrets as far as like how promptly and creatively you pump your art out?
Sure. Usually, I turn the show on. I make a big fat joint. Then, like within the first hour, I usually have at least one or two ideas that I want to do. It's the hard part too, because I'm kind of sick of the whole Clinton and Trump thing too, and most of the show is about that, of course, because it has to be. But how many times can you use Hillary or Trump on your artwork? I'm kind of sick of their faces. So after like the first hour, I have like somewhat of an idea of what I'm going to do. I'll start working on it, grabbing all the pictures. Then the second half of the show comes, and then I'm really high by then. So then I start to wander off a little bit from the show while it's still playing, and then I might play video games or do more art, and then I'll make like another one or two. If I hear them say something, I'll load up the Photoshop and start getting to it. And yeah, so I do about one definitely per episode. Sometimes I could do 2 or 3, depending on if anything they say grabs me.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I was just thinking about that meme I saw about Hillary and Trump. It was terrible. Did you see that? It was like the Statue of Liberty getting bent over, and Hillary was poking her from behind with a strap on, and Trump was on the front side. It was like basically you're getting fucked either way.
It's pretty hot.
Do you do art for work too, Nick? Is that your profession?
Nah, I don't like to sell art. Art is something I don't want to do as a job. I'm a technician. I fix computers in the sewer.
Oh, you're a dude named Ben too.
I'm a dude named Ben, but yeah, I went to school for art and all that. But I basically just do little cartoon rats. What was you gonna do with that? That's not gonna get me a job. It'd be great if I could. I'd just do that all day if I was getting paid for it. But see, if you're doing art for money, it seems like you have to be a really good liar. Or okay, I shouldn't say that. You have to be a really good salesman. But if you're doing anything you love, you gotta. It's hard to sell it. I think. I don't know. I'm just a pushover.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's kind of, I suppose that's that's kind of how we feel about the back catalog and shit like that, right? That's why we'd never consider putting up a paywall so that people couldn't have access to all of our content. Otherwise, it somehow seems stinted. Is that the word, stinted or stunted? Or neither?
Giving it away for free, it's not going to ever spread naturally. But you got to make that money off of it too. I won't tell you how to run your business. I don't know.
Well, we try. We just ask for donations the same way, right? To cover. There is a legitimate cost, so we do want to cover all that.
Cost it's important, but I think it's life's more about doing things you love to do, even if you're homeless. Perhaps, I don't know. No, being homeless probably sucks.
Yeah,
unless you're in the sewer.
Well, it's. I get free electricity down here and cable. Splice the wires.
Does it get cold in the winter?
It does a little bit, but I just the bums. They got a lot of the barrels burning down here, and I just hang out with them if it gets too cold.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
And you could survive.
They burn them
Probably
in the sewer.
survive in New York.
They're like mole people. The New York City's sewers, they're deeper than you know. They're pretty deep, filled with weird things. I wonder if we grow down here.
Oh, probably.
It'll grow
You
everywhere.
have to put in light.
So, Andrew, what do you do for you meet a lot of alcoholics on your job?
Actually, I do. I work in restaurants. I serve and I bartend and do all that good stuff.
Ah, I see. In a restaurant or in a bar?
I'm in a restaurant right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I write on the side.
So you must just listen to all sorts of shit all day of people, of fucking sheeple.
What do you mean, Darren?
You know, you hear all kinds of crazy stuff in restaurants. But I have to say eavesdropping is one of my favorite parts of my job.
Yeah, you're on like the front lines with the public in that sort of a position, you know what I mean? Like listening to No Agenda on your earbuds, or listen to No Agenda on your break, and then going out and listen to fucking, you know, just looking at the people that are just...
You ever get famous people coming in?
Who have I seen famous? I've heard of famous people coming into my restaurant, but I've always missed them. Apparently Mark McGuire came into my restaurant when I was out in California. It wasn't my restaurant, but where I worked. Let's see, Ed McCaffrey of the Broncos, well, in Colorado. And actually a couple of the Real Housewives of Orange County when I was in California also. But I never met any of them.
Damn. They seem like they might be easy. You could take them home with you.
Apparently that show painted them not the way they are, is what I was told by people I worked with.
Were they dicks?
Yeah. Some of them. But apparently they made one of them to be a real bitch on the show, and she was actually a really nice lady, is what my coworker said. They kind of do what they want. I mean, you know.
They are real.
Yeah.
Meeting famous people is always really, like, strange. It's kind of like you're in a dream, what's going on. It's like you want to talk to them, but then you're like, not really.
What do I talk about?
Yeah, it's like, oh, wow, look who it is. This is just awkward now because I know who they are. And they have, then you just sit there and stare at them. It's very strange. I always wonder if it would be weird to be like a celebrity like that. Like, because everywhere you go, that's got to happen. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you feel like jumping into some of those conversations, Andrew, when you hear people talking about all the, like, are most of the people just talking about sort of crap, garbage, mainstream distraction?
Yeah, when they talk about the news, they normally talk about, you know, what John C. and Adam talk about. But I think, you know, the way here anyway, there's a lot of people that are really dissatisfied. I mean, I think a lot of people are aware that there are problems, and they just don't really know where they are.
Where the problems are, you mean?
Yeah.
Like
so
how?
It's like, well, you know, I don't think anybody's really buying the mainstream narratives anymore.
Yeah.
Not for the most part. I mean, how many people watch some of these channels and some of these news shows?
Yeah.
But isn't it in like the hundreds of thousands of people? I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's part of what's happening is Hillary, who was talking about this, where just using Hillary as an example is she still thinks that she doesn't understand how she can't get that she can't control the media, like how the mainstream media really doesn't. It's, you know, it's only that she can control, not all this other media that's going around. So there's all these other shows that are getting millions and millions of listeners as well, and that's
getting videos that go viral.
Yeah, yeah. You know, there's a number of alternative news sites that are getting way more attention than some of these mainstream shows now.
Joe Rogan probably has a bigger audience than like 3/4 of television.
But
Yeah.
which one's sponsored by the military-industrial complex? Because that's the only people you need behind you.
Which alternative media you mean, Nick?
Alex
I
Jones / Bill Hicks.
Well, some of them are obviously no good, and some of them are a mixed bag. But there are some really good shows out there.
A mixed bag of nuts.
Bunch of crazy people.
Mixed bag of nuts.
What pisses you off the most from the show? Like what blatant or not so blatant bullshit is the most, I don't know, personal?
The meme that has me right now that I don't like is the universal basic income. I think that's probably my least favorite. And the resource-based economies, those are my least favorite in the alternative spheres.
Wow. So universal basic income and resource-based economy. So kind of more, you're sort of more of the counterculture zeitgeist kind of stuff you don't like.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. First off, money is a resource, so why would we not use it for the resource-based economy? So who are you having to go to ask for these resources? Who's collecting these resources? Who has them on hand? Those are some of my questions on that one. And then the universal basic income, who's paying the money? Is it the banks? Where are the banks getting this money? Are they just printing it? Well, why can't we just have real money instead of,
debt-based
more
money?
debt?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the real problem, is that our money supply is completely manipulated.
Yeah.
But does money make the man? Like, just because you have more money, does that mean you're a better person?
No, not at all.
Probably means you're more miserable.
Oh, so why are we running our life with money? Like running our social structure using money? I don't know.
Just because it's an easy way to trade.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I can think of. And because people deserve value for value. You can't just be giving things away.
The devil you know.
I give a lot away.
Well, not that you shouldn't give some things away. And you should be able to choose that. But I feel like money's essential. Yeah, money's a tough topic.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, that's what me and Graham were talking about. People who are like full out anarchists, no government, because I'm a strong proponent of the fucking roads won't get built. And I think that's kind of the same sort of the different side of the same coin. I think in a total free market, the roads and highways won't get built, or you know what I mean? That people won't pitch in or do their fair share. It's just not going to happen. Certain things aren't going to happen, and people are going to get left behind.
Roads. No, I'm sorry.
But it should be freer than it is now. It should be way the fuck freer than it is now. But I don't think it can be. Yeah. I mean, I think you need some sort of minimal fucking government, the way it was, meant to be, with actual.
Well, you certainly need some sort of community organization. And okay, so you got 12 guys down at the bar that are making sure the roads get paved. That's still, that's starting government. So you might as well have something. But
well,
I agree, much smaller than what it is.
All right, I could take money out of the subject. What if those 12 people were building the road, and they were, and you had a bar, and you just gave them alcohol for free because you knew what they were doing? But then they did something for you. No, it wouldn't work. You need money.
Well, I guess you could glue them, feed them, but then someone else, who's someone with an apartment building needs to give them a free apartment for building the roads. And then
I think we basically need no privacy. The only way to do this is to have zero privacy and to know everything else that everybody else is doing in society.
And thinking.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and thinking. And to know what they're thinking. We're close to that.
I think we can reel that in to not... We don't need to know what people are thinking.
We're close to that. That's going to happen.
As long as we know what they're doing.
Will it become more?
Especially on a business level, like fucking, maybe not down to, like, I don't want people knowing my shit per se, But I mean, maybe if you're getting trusted with billions of dollars, or you're at the level that you control fucking economies and countries and everything else, maybe all your shit should be 100% transparent. Maybe that shouldn't have any chance of being privately owned.
Agreed. It's a start.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem, is that all of our information is wide open, and yet the government has all their secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
How does that work?
Hey.
And I do agree. I think that there's no proven political system that actually really works properly yet. I don't think we have the answer. I don't think we know. But I agree with you, Andrew, that the biggest problem isn't the political system; it's the money system and where we're getting the money from, and it's coming from the banks at debt, with interest, and we're just being fucking
so that we can make more billionaires.
All the nations are in debt. And we are in debt, and it doesn't need to be like that. But it's to get people to really wake up like that. Like Canada used to be okay, and before the 70s when they switched it over, like we built our infrastructure on proper money, and the economy was good.
Yeah, America did the same thing.
Yeah, I think you guys did it way before we did.
Well, when did we pulled away from Silver and Nixon? So it was late 60s, right?
We weren't far behind.
Yeah. We built up on the good stuff. Well, isn't that what happened with Germany after World War I? Because wasn't that what Hitler did, was took them off of fiat currency and went to a true money to rebuild their economy? And that's how they became such a big war power.
Right.
Well, we're going to have a chance, man. I mean, I foresee in Canada's fucking near future, like in the next year or two, maybe less, could be less than that, but I'd say within 2 years, maybe 3 years max, we're going to have a chance.
Be a guy?
What's that?
The guys on Agenda 31 were talking about, apparently Gary Johnson said something about how we have U.S. dollars that are backed, that aren't fiat currency, and that we could, apparently we have them on hand and we could release them at any time. We just don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
who's we? Who's we? The Fed?
Yeah, the government.
The Fed's not government.
Oh, the Fed? Then the Fed. I don't know, whoever has it.
But the government maybe has it in case shit goes down. I mean, you'd think you'd want to have some sort of
contingency
backup plan. But I mean, I think Canada's going to have a shot here in the near future to do a reset.
A shot at what? Why Canada? I don't get it.
Because we're going to have a huge housing market crash here probably soon. As soon as interest rates start going up and shit, I mean, we're going to have a big one. Some people say ours is going to be worse than the one in the States. We dodged one in the States and kept going, so ours will be worse now. And
so just make sure you lock up all your bankers.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We're going to have a chance to fucking, either correct the action or just more of the same.
After you correct it, America will corrupt them again. Don't worry about it.
Who knows if we'll even correct it in the first place, right? We probably won't.
What was it our guest said that was causing this again from Hong Kong? Do you remember? Oh, the spice market.
Yeah, the spice market, yeah.
Vancouver's the new world center for the spice market, and that's what's causing this inflation.
I'd buy that.
Really?
Yeah. Came from Hong Kong, so I don't know where he gets it from. That's the first time I've heard of that, but...
Damn British.
Well, the British lost Hong Kong, so maybe they're looking to move where they push the spices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder.
Let the spice flow. He who has the spice has the power. I forget.
Spice is life.
Oh, the spice must flow. That's how it goes. I'm sorry.
The spice must flow. That's right. That sounds right. Here's the mind killer. That's all I remember.
Pew, 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 pew.
Have any of you seen Jodorowsky's Dune? Speaking of Dune?
No, say it again. Doom, as in...
The book?
Dune.
Frank Herbert's Dune?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have seen it a long time ago.
Remember the one with Sting? Well, apparently there was an earlier version that was done by Jodorowsky, or at least he got close to doing it. And there's a documentary about his efforts, and it's highly entertaining if you like documentaries.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out. I'll put a link in the show notes as well.
And sci-fi.
Cool.
Yeah, he worked with some of Hollywood's best before they were famous.
Anybody here play Doom? Doom.
I used to play Doom back when you had to make your computer dial up the other computer.
I did that too.
And then it'd be like, meh, meh. And then you'd play fucking Doom. It'd be kind of sketchy and pixelated.
I played Warcraft for too long.
Oh yeah, I used to play some Warcraft too when it first came out, when you could do that. It was the same sort of thing. You had to dial up the other buddy's computer. It was before the internet was really... You couldn't do a whole lot with the internet because there wasn't really search engines yet.
And so nobody here really plays video games anymore?
No. I try every couple of years. I try, and I just don't manage to get into it.
Oh well.
I was getting into Civilization for a while.
For a minute, but
Civ is a fun game to sit back and do nothing for 20 hours. But the new Doom game, if you actually like the
what
old...
are you talking about? I built a world.
Well, yeah,
these people are beasts.
I think you might like the new Doom game if you just want to try something. I give it a thumbs up.
Is it computer? Mac?
You're on a Mac. You can play Plants vs. Zombies. All right. I work on Mac. I don't know.
I'm waiting for Mario on the iPhone.
It's like Flappy Bird. It's like, wow, Flappy Bird. Let's make that Nintendo. Wait, it was.
Speaking of that, speaking of iPhones, I do have a pet peeve about John.
Come on, lay off of John.
Well,
no, it will give John credit.
No, it's fair.
What's that?
Let's hear it.
You want to hear it? He underestimates the power and the importance of the cell phone. Like, especially coming from a tech community, they don't give the device credit.
It hasn't changed in 10 years.
It's so
10 years ago right now too, and it's fine.
My phone's brand new, but not much has changed.
Brand new as in a day old. He's had it for today. But I mean, no, but what I'm saying is that they're just more, regardless of how old it is, it's a powerful tool that you can use for all kinds of good stuff. So like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like
John gives it crap because it's been this for 10 years now. It's been powerful for 10 years. Why this is like all the news channels like, oh my God, new phone. But it does the same thing, just a little bit faster. Yeah, the phones are incredible. I'm not saying they're not. They're probably one of the most incredible things ever, but it's who needs to know about it every day?
Yeah, I agree with that part. Yeah, totally.
So, you know that what's the law that says that processor speeds will double every couple of years?
Moore's Law.
Moore's Law? Didn't they say on one show that was out while we're in Talking Tech?
Yeah, John mentioned it. I mean, Adam.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy because I still hear people saying that. So apparently, if that's the case, it's not out in the public.
Who here is into quantum computing?
Yeah, Darren is. So I don't know if Moore's Law. Do you think Moore's Law is out, Nick?
Did the CIA just jump in on the call? No, Moore's Law. It slowed down a lot. I know that. But if quantum computers come true, then we won't really need Moore's Law anymore, I think. I don't know. I might be totally wrong.
They just did that little
test,
that little teleportation quantum computing thing in Calgary here a couple of weeks ago. They shot it like 6.2 kilometers.
I would love to have them on.
What did they do?
I don't understand it. They say teleported information.
I think it's lies. Actually, not even quantum computing.
I have to say that's the reason I'm skeptical about quantum computing because honestly, it just kind of confuses me. I'm like, don't believe it when I see it.
There's 3 options, and we could pretty much get a shitload of information from that. But how do you know?
Here, I got it here. So it says, blah, blah, blah. Through a collaboration, here we go. Through a collaboration between the University of Calgary, the City of Calgary, and researchers in the United States, a group of physicists led by Wolfgang Tittel, professor in the Department of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Calgary, have successfully demonstrated teleportation of a photon over a straight line distance of 6 kilometers.
So did it disappear and reappear?
Using the City of Calgary's fiber optic cable infrastructure. The project began with Urban Alliance seed grant in 2014. Blah, blah, blah. This accomplishment, which set a new record for distance of transferring a quantum state by teleportation, has landed the researchers a spot.
They teleported a photon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand how a photon...
Get the cat.
Cable. So did they just shoot a laser and turn it off? I don't know.
It's tough for me because it's only 6 kilometers. Like, no, I'm thinking of a proton. No, a photon's a light particle, right? So that thing's going 300,000 kilometers a second. And it's 6 kilometers. So what's that? Like a fucking 100th of a 1,000th of a fucking, a 50,000th of a...
It's hard to believe they can measure the difference between light speed and teleportation.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I'm a layman.
Sorry. Albert Einstein, did he believe in quantum theory before he died?
Yep.
Damn.
Well, didn't he say it was spooky?
He didn't like talking about
spooky action at a distance.
Yeah, but at first he was like, no, quantum? No, fuck that shit. But then I think he did switch over before he died. But I don't know. I need to see it to believe it, I guess.
What were you going to say, Andrew?
I'm nothing. I don't think I'm a fan. I want to see him shoot a cat into space 6 miles.
We might balloon up.
Then I'll believe it.
We might balloon up a camera to prove the Earth is round.
It's hollow.
Yeah. See, it can't be flat because it's hollow.
I was just thinking about that today. Actually, I was like comparing hollow Earth and flat Earth. I'm like, if the hollow Earth is real, the flat Earth can't be.
So you can't.
I like the hollow Earth and I like the growing Earth.
Grams believe everything backfires. He came to a fucking...
Oh, I don't believe in flat Earth. I think it's ridiculous.
Cognitive dissonance moment.
I'm just like what Andrew just said. The hollow Earth and the growing Earth is interesting.
Yeah. I think hollow Earth is different, though. I think it's just a little space at the center of the Earth where fucking energy is created. Instantly turns into matter, like gas, and bubbles up to the surface.
I'm not so sure there's like dinosaurs down there. I don't know that I'd go that far.
Land of the Lost.
Maybe. I don't know.
Flat universe. Is that a conspiracy? The universe is flat. So
somebody did say that recently, that the universe was flat.
So
it's not round like we think, or it's not infinite like we think. It's actually more of like a pancake shape.
So what if we're just confused? We think we live in 3-dimensional space, but it's actually 2-dimensional. Where's my weed?
Could it be? No, it couldn't be. It's more likely it's just an illusion.
Well, 2D and 1D doesn't really exist. We are 3-dimensional creatures, so we only know 3D. But what if our knowledge is wrong and it's actually 2D? And that proves flat Earth. Thank you. Okay.
But we're 40, right?
Well, yeah. There's like 12 Ds. Lots of Ds. It's like
I've heard 16 Ds.
There's only 4.
There's 3 dimensions and there's time.
Which is the fourth. The fourth time is a dimension. It's a fourth dimension.
Why are you so sure that that's it?
Because I said so.
Yeah, but we're talking about alternate universes and parallel universes and different dimensions.
Then you go into that parallel universe and they have their own 4 fucking things. But I'm saying in
our reality, there's only 4 dimensions, but then there's other parallel realities with other dimensions.
With their own 4. There are only 4 in every dimension.
Wow.
Yeah, you sound pretty sure of that.
I'm fucking 100% certain. And I will be vindicated. Time will vindicate me.
The 4th dimension will vindicate you.
Yeah. I will be vindicated right here at some point. In the 4th
well, if there's more than 3 or less than 3, I don't even think there's less than 3. I think there's only 3. Or whatever we know of whatever this is right now. But if there is more or less, it's got to be infinite more and infinitely less. And then what's the point? Either way, we're going to die.
Well, maybe not. We might not die.
Yeah,
well, that's true. We might explode. You can't destroy it.
Yeah, that's right. It just goes on to...
You die just to live again.
The meat, but we'll lose the meat suits.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. I think it is... Personally, I think it is if you're good, then you die and you have the chance to live again. And if you're bad, then you die and you have to live again.
Well, if you don't take that chance, then what state are you in at that point? Are you living?
You're on the other side. You're watching the game.
You're a fart.
You're in limbo.
You're just a fart in the wind.
You're a fart in the wind. You're a lovely rose melon fart in the wind.
And if you were underwater, you'd change the properties of that water.
Right.
Well, this has been fun, guys.
It has been.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we should do it again sometime. And do you want to mention, Andrew, before we wrap it up, do you want to talk about your books a little bit there? Because I've got your Story of Number book. It's pretty cool, and you talked about it on that other podcast we were on. But I want to give you a chance to just mention them.
It's called The Story of Number, and it's a religious philosophy. It basically models off of your 10 digits, your hand. I was smoking a lot of weed and staring at my hand, saying why about the universe and everything. And so it's kind of based on, it has a numerology framework, and then it just talks various esoteric meanings and proofs, and just wordplay, mostly paragraphs about what I think of various esoteric stuff. The pi and the Fibonacci sequence, the cross and the mark, that kind of thing. The eye in the pyramid and some of its various interpretations. Actually, I don't know that I talked the third eye. Yeah, some of it. I hit on some of it. It's a short book, 64 pages, so I just try to get at the core of it. And in the end, I figure it's all about living love and loving life and, being a good person.
Nice.
Funny how often it seems to come around to that.
Yeah, doesn't it? The show seems to overlap with that theme. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. We should have a shirt. All you need is love.
It's kind of a...
That's probably copyrighted, right? Or trademarked or something. We'll get sued.
Yeah, probably.
It show's over, everybody.
Hey,
Grimerica just got sued back to the Stone Age.
Nick, anything you want to mention before we wrap it up?
I want to mention Robert Anton Wilson. He's the man. And also nicktherat.com, and go to radio there. And fuck Facebook and fuck YouTube. Woo!
Right on.
Appropriate.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming on, guys. It was good to chat.
You guys are awesome.
You can also, before I go, I just want to mention that I do blog for the Grimerica boys.
Oh, right,
so
yes.
At Grimerica.ca. I am the firelighting rabble rouser.
Nice.
And I tend to talk on the esoterics and politics.
Nice. Yeah, thanks for the reminder there.
Andrew with many names.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The man with many names, the Baron.
Yes.
Thanks for the content.
Many names.
Great content.
Yes. Right on, guys. All right, thanks. Have a good night.
Sleep well, man.
Yeah, you too.
Lucid dream.
I will. Okay. I'm going to try it. Nick's 4-step lucid dreaming.
There you go.
Thank you for your courage.
All right. In the morning.
In the morning.
And that was our Knights of the Roundtable, the inaugural one with Nick the Rat and Andrew, the Baron of America's Mountain.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was fun. Great guys.
I find like there's so much we have in common with all these people, even just talking about esoteric stuff. Like, I have a feeling that most of the No Agenda crowd is probably into some crazy stuff. Yeah, not just like, you know, like John and Adam keep it pretty mainstream, right?
At least open to it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and open to podcasts, which is a big part of it already,
exactly.
right? I mean, that's just it.
And the value for value model as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So, yeah, it was a good one. We'll keep doing those. Yeah, it was good. Started a little slow, but we picked up some steam.
Yeah.
And, check out No Agenda.
It is difficult to have 4 people on as well on different lines. So
without video.
Yeah.
Yep. Big thanks to Nick and Andrew Lemonesi.
Lemessany.
That's not right.
I know.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, I think so. Closer than me.
Good enough. Yeah, big thanks for coming on the show. Of course, check out grimerica.ca/support for where you can support our value for value model. There's monthlies there, everything from $1 to $30 a month, and one-time donations as well. And that's about it. I suppose Spam Graham.
Graham.
Yeah, I've been getting lots of spam lately. It's good.
Have you?
People sending in trip reports and ghost stories and dreams and it's been great.
And never forget.
And synchronicities.
Graham is an
Oh, come on.
chemtrails.
Never forget that. Yeah, check out all that shit. Sign up for the newsletter, grimerica.ca/news. Review the show, support the show, and tell your friends about the show.
Right on.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you next week.